Good morning, guys. It's that time of the week again where I give you some new snippets from around Vietnam. I'm out with Ginger, walking her around the rice fields. I would have done my usual spot by kayaking, but my back's hurting from this week's hard labour. If you haven't seen that video yet, have a quick look at that. That'll just show you a little bit of insight into how they deal with filling in a pond. May sound straightforward enough, but you know, little techniques are slightly different here in Vietnam, and so you know, it's an interesting video to watch. So have a look at that. The link will be in the description below. So today's news, we'll start off down in An Giang again. That was the news snippet I mentioned last week, where they were doing a paragliding event over the mountains and rice fields, and landing in the bull racing area. Now that happened last Saturday, 28th of November, and 100,000 people were there. Incredible. This was for the ox racing that was taking place at the end of that. So it's a traditional thing down there in An Giang in the Mekong Delta. So whether you think that's, you know, against welfare of animals or whatever, it's still quite an interesting thing to see in Vietnam. You know, certain things in Vietnam may not appeal to you, but it does appeal to the locals here, so that's quite interesting. Next bit of news item is the World Travel Awards. Now, Vietnam won the best World Heritage Destination of 2019, and they've just now won the second year in a row, 2020, which is incredible news. Brilliant. They do have stiff competition with Cambodia and Thailand and China, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia. All these countries are involved in this, and there's some great sites, heritage sites in those areas, in those countries too. But for Vietnam to come 2 years running the best out of those is incredible. With the country's heritage and cultural and culinary offerings, you'll see when you come to Vietnam why it's come first. There are so many things to see in Vietnam, and with there being 8 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, that's a big draw for tourists coming to Vietnam. So when the vaccines are all being developed and dished out, you should be able to get over to Vietnam. The borders will open, hopefully, and you'll get to see these 8 UNESCO sites. Do you know where they are? Now, not many people know all of them, but they are situated mainly in the north and central regions. You've got Ha Long Bay, which everybody knows about, with the cruises and the limestone casts, stunning area. You've got Chang An, which has similar limestone casts, but also great rowing experiences going through the caves. You have Thang Long in Hanoi, which is just celebrating its 10th anniversary as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And you've also got Ho Citadel. It's a Ho Dynasty Citadel, and now that's not as well known as all the others, but this is one place I went to on my Mai Chau Phu Long trip, so do look out for that video coming up soon. And down in the central regions, you've got the complex of Hue monuments. It's a fantastic place to go. Definitely check out my videos there, because I've seen those royal tombs and the citadel, Imperial City in Hue, and made a great video, a few videos really around that area. Really good. Then you've got actually further north, you've got Phong Nha, which is where you'll find the caves. Sun Dong or Son Doong, can't work out which way you pronounce it, my wife knows. That's a fantastic area to go to. And also you have Hoi An, and My Son, which is the ancient Cham ruins. So it's got a lot to offer, Vietnam. It's strange that they're only in the north and central regions. I'm sure there are regions down, areas in the south of Vietnam which have local heritage sites that will meet the expectations of UNESCO, but obviously not just yet. Next bit of news, down in Vung Tau and Can Tho, there's going to be a ferry service. Now this may be of interest to a lot of expat Aussies living down in Vung Tau. This is a typical beach area for Vietnamese to go to. The Saigonese or Saigonians or whatever you call them, people from Ho Chi Minh, they will go there for weekend breaks and visit the beach. A lot of expat Australians live there, and I'm sure a 30-minute ferry ride to Can Tho, which has fresh seafood, obviously Vung Tau has too, but it's also got the mangrove forest, which is really interesting. A lot of great things to see out there and a lot of nature. So the 30-minute ferry ride is just beginning. It should be coming into force this month or maybe next month. It's been delayed due to bidding and COVID, etc. So this is a nice little addition. The current journey time from Vung Tau to Can Tho is about 3.5 hours by road, so you can imagine the difference that's going to make to local businesses there. The ferry will hold 350 people, 20 cars, 100 motorbikes, and a little bit of room for other goods, probably produce from Can Tho or from Vung Tau. So that's a great little addition for anyone who lives down there. And a little bit of news in Hanoi. A huge unexploded bomb was found near Chuk Bak, near the lake there, just a few streets over. It's 340 kilograms. Yeah, so that was dealt with by the Vietnamese army and experts of bomb disposal. Actually, this is the second large bomb that's been discovered in Hanoi in the last 6 months. The other one was found near Long Bien Bridge, and that was dealt with professionally by the Vietnamese as well. So that's probably two of the bombs that were dropped by the Americans in the last weekend of, or the last 2 weeks of December in 1972. 36,000 tons were dropped in those 2 weeks. Incredible. So we found two of them. They didn't go off, so thankfully. So next year Vietnam are holding the 31st Southeast Asia Games, and it will be held in Hanoi. Now there are a few stadiums that are going to be used. Two of them in Hanoi, one in Nam Ding, actually close to where we are, for the football. I'm going to go and see the Nam Ding Stadium, have a walk around, hopefully see what that's like. Be quite interesting to see. But Hanoi has the main stadium, which is My Ding, and that's like a football stadium, and it's got a track around it as well for running and what have you. So that's being repaired at the moment. I think it's about $6.5 million worth of repairs. It only came into action in 2003 when they held their first Southeast Asian Games. Back in 2003. So it's looking a bit dilapidated. A few of the stands and seats, foundations of the C and D stands are needing repairing. So this money is going to get that developed and fixed, ready for next year's event. Now the event starts at 21st of November and ends on the 2nd of December. Now also there's the Para Games for Southeast Asia, which were to be held in the Philippines this year. It was delayed. I think it was meant to be in January. It's been delayed. It was delayed and delayed and eventually cancelled. So what they're doing is bringing forward the 2022 Para Games for Vietnam and dealing with it just after the Southeast Asia Games in December. So so that's something that's going to be, I'm going to be filming next year. Hopefully it goes ahead. It's late enough next year to go ahead, I would think, in about the same time now. In a year's time, I'm sure all the vaccines are all dealt with by then. But hopefully we'll get some tickets sorted out as well for that event and include it in any packages. So in other news, COVID news, there's some bad news actually. Basically, literally, the moment I published my video last week, it came up on the news that there was a new case, and it was a cross-community transmission, so that was disappointing. What's happened is a flight attendant from Vietnam Airlines has come in, has done 4 days quarantine. Why is that short? Tested negative twice and was told to self-isolate at home. But what's happened is people within the household and a friend, an English teacher, came to visit, has contracted the virus, and so basically now it's gone into all kinds of trouble down in Ho Chi Minh. Schools and universities are closed. Commercial international flights into Vietnam have been closed, all because of this one flight attendant who decided it was okay to go out for a meal and to university and not self-isolate. Brilliant. So that's a bit of bad news. I'll be putting up the figures of the active cases on your screen now. But yeah, that's so still, it's a dip in the ocean over here. I mean, back in the UK and America, it's just ridiculous. There's hundreds of thousands in America dead. In Britain, you know, dozens of thousands dead. Here there's 35. So they did something right here, and they're still doing it right. It's just that little blip here and there, like July in Da Nang. That was a blip. Don't even know where that came from. You know, I said in my last video, it could have been an illegal entrant to the country. There are, you know, last week I was reporting that 77 were found in the north to have gained entry illegally. So glad we got them 77. But it's one of those one or two that have skipped through that are bringing it back. So until this vaccine's brought in, you know, everything's vulnerable, even this country when it's done really well. So okay, so that's it for now. I'll sign off. If you like the video, click like. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do, and click the bell for notifications. All right, cheers, see you later.